Hello, I'm Alma Angeles. We're moving to the next stage of the pandemic. As the world resets to the new normal, we find ourselves seeking the right balance between health and livelihood, constantly adjusting the boundaries between liberty and responsibility. Welcome to ASEAN in Focus. First, tourism remained the hardest hit industry because of global travel bans. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said there are already contingency plans in place for the industry. Take a look.
Meron naman po tayong option talaga to encourage domestic tourism kapag po pwede na. Ang tinitignan po natin ay anong mangyayari sa Bohol. Kasi alam naman natin, Bohol and Boracay are favorite destinations. Ngayon po, naka-GCQ na sila. Posible po na mag-MGCQ na sila sa mga darating na araw kung saan papayag na po ang 50% na turismo. So meron na po tayong kumbaga mga models na masusunod dito sa Bohol at sa Boracay. Pero kampante po tayo na sa ganda naman ng ating mga tourist destinations, hindi po tayo magkukulang ng mga tao na nais makarating at makita itong mga destinasyon nito.
Meanwhile, California will reopen non-essential businesses, including church gatherings, but with restrictions. Joining us live from the Silicon Valley Bureau is Don Orozco. Hello, Don.
Good afternoon, Alma, and good afternoon to all our televiewers. And as usual, I am blown away at the beauty that you possess.
Okay, Don, so what are the updates from Silicon Valley?
Anyway, let's go.
From the US?
Let's go to my report. Phase 2 for California is the soft reopening of business from essentials to non-essentials. This means that the government is now allowing restaurants to have sit-down customers. And one things that actually have developed is to give way for spaces instead of them being no one occupying it. They are actually putting mannequins, in place of the vacant tables. And that's how they do it to observe social distancing. So from just a mere curbside pickup, there can now be a sit-down customers allowed inside the said restaurants. Unfortunately, there are still other kinda essential, but still they are not allowed to open. These are salons and dental clinics and of course hairstylists. That's why now my wife is still is the one who does my hair, but it's very easy to maintain my hair. So that's how it is when it comes to the essential and non-essential. Now, on the flip side, Governor Newsom actually the other day has also allowed reopening of churches and then synagogues, but there's a lot of prohibitions. For example, a chapel that actually has a capacity of around 700 to 800 can with social distancing can only fit 100 people, which is the maximum allowable in California, or 25% of the seating capacity of the chapel. So that's how it is. But then it is just 100, and then it is required to do similar to what you do when you enter in any establishments in the Philippines. There's a temperature check and a symptom screening. And then you are required to do a thorough cleaning of the chapel after. There will be no sharing of items. And again, there can also be remote services provided for. But everything at the end of the day will depend on each county official if they will allow to reopen. And again, that is where law enforcement group are very active, because if you are found to be violative of any of the provisions, they will shut you down and make you pay penalties. That's the reality here in California. And just for purposes of providing you the numbers, Alma, again, U.S. has remained to be the #1 country when it comes to COVID. Ano? There's 1.66 million cases here with 98,000 deaths. And so far, 379 has recovered with about 14.6 billion tested. So now California is adding more test centers and everything is free. That's what the government is trying to implement. And then in the Bay Area, where I actually live, and it has about a total of 12,540 cases with 425 deaths. Now, on the counties with most Filipinos, let's start with Alameda County, where Fremont and Union City is located. There's about 2,874 with 93 deaths. In our county, Santa Clara County, Silicon Valley, 2,652 with 139 deaths. San Francisco, 2,386 cases and 40 deaths. And then San Mateo, that's where Daly City is, where you'll think it's like extension of the Philippines. 1,833 and 76 deaths. Lastly, before I go, if it is hot there, it is equally hot here in the Bay Area. Today, it registered 100 to 105 Fahrenheit, which is about 35 to 40 centigrade. The only difference is that in the Philippines, it's kind of sticky. Here, it is very dry. So that's the difference when it comes to weather. Again, this is Tono Roscoe reporting live from Silicon Valley, reminding everyone to please stay home, stay safe, save lives, and yes, we live in interesting times.
Thank you very much, Don. Very hot there. I never experienced 105 degrees in the Bay Area, never before. But anyways, thank you so much, and you take care. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you. The Cambodian government introduced new round of measures to help businesses affected by the pandemic. What are these measures? Joining us live from Cambodia is Crystal Ann Ballesteros. Hello, Crystal. Hi, Crystal. Can you hear me? Hi, Crystal. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I guess, but that's
Okay, we'll try and get back with Crystal as soon as we have a better connection. Let's first go to Maldives, where the island has received 5,000 more test kits from the World Health Organization. Joining us live from Maldives is Steffi Dewan. Hello, Steffi. Good afternoon from Manila.
Hi, Alma. Good morning from Maldives.
Hi. Good day. So what are your updates from Maldives? Yes.
Yes, so here's the latest updates from the island country of Maldives. World Health Organization has donated 5,000 more test kits for COVID-19 to the Maldives. In a press conference tonight, National Emergency Operations Center, or NEOC, spokesperson Mabroods Aziz announced that the test kits have now been handed over to IGMH. World Health Organization had donated 5,000 test kits to the Maldives 2 weeks ago. The organization had been stated that the frequency of such supplies to the country would be increased. This is the 4th time that the organization has supplied 10 kits Maldives. The other country as well as organization and private donors have donated test kits and medical equipments to Maldives, while Thailand today donated 10 mini ventilators to Maldives. The Maldives has so far collected 20,551 samples. They include repeat samples as well. The total of COVID-19 cases in Maldives currently stands at 1,438 active cases. Back to you, Alma.
Steph, reports say tens or thousands of foreign workers or foreign laborers have been left stranded in the island of Maldives. What is the government planning to do about these migrant workers now?
Yes, actually, the government has 3,000 foreign workers to a temporary shelter to the industrial island of Gulipalu outside Male. Thousands more are to follow, but the main opposition Progressive Party of Maldives, or PPM, has described the facilities as prisons. Minister for Foreign Affairs Abdullah Shahid said, laborers are barely allowed out and their rooms do not even have fans to peak summer heat when temperatures climbs about 30 degrees Celsius. But government spokesperson Mabus Aziz said authorities had built the housing in a bid to ease overcrowding in Male. Authorities acknowledge conditions in Male for foreign workers are poor and say that they are moving thousands into better housing out of the capital. Minister of Foreign Affairs Abdullah Shahid said roughly 1,000 Bangladeshis staying illegally in Maldives have been repatriated on Sunday, while India has taken back 4,000 people who lost their jobs.
All right. Thank you very much, Steph, for your updates. And we're really interested on news coming out of the island of Maldives. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Alma, reporting live from Maldives, Deputy Juan, and we live in interesting times.
All right, to Malaysia now. COVID-19 patients who have completed a 2-week quarantine will now be discharged even if the second test is positive. We have an update coming in from Ruby Tinawin from Kuala Lumpur. Hello, Ruby.
Hello, Alma. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, for the latest news here in Malaysia, the Health Ministry has decided to allow COVID-19 positive patients who have completed a 2-week or 14 days hospital treatment to return home, even if their test results come back positive. Its Director General, Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, said this was based on the latest guideline from the World Health Organization. Prior to this, he said some patients may have had to remain in hospital for more than 2 weeks as the PCR test on the 13th day of their stay came back positive. Now, during his daily briefing yesterday, Dr. Nur Hisham said WHO's guideline have indicated that positive results from the PCR test on the 13th day could be due to residual fragments of the virus in the body, which are no longer active. He also said that the virus can still come up as positive. The only question is whether it can infect others. But WHO has stated the infectivity rate after 14 days or more of treatment is nearly zero. The Director General added the ministry will also have to change its protocols in handling COVID-19 positive patients and will inform hospital staff of these changes in due course. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry here in Malaysia is constantly monitoring COVID-19 patients receiving treatment using anti-malaria drug hydroxychloroquine to detect any possible side effects. Health Director General Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah said Malaysia is still cautiously administering the drug to treat patients as part of its Solidarity trial study. He admitted the drug to treat malaria is known to cause severe or several side effects, which could include irregular heartbeat and blurred vision. Based on the experience and views of healthcare experts, it was found the anti-inflammation drug can prevent the infection from becoming worse at the early stage, even though it has side effects in terms of heartbeat and vision. Dr. Nur Hisham said at his daily briefing that hydroxychloroquine has been used for over 40 years to treat malaria, but it is used as an off-label to treat COVID-19 patients now. Elaborating further, he said any usage of off-label medicines should be monitored to deal with side effects that could potentially put patients' health at risk. He said healthcare experts are still studying how to prevent existing side effects and avoid high dosage, adding that literature review will be issued by World Health Organization in mid-June. Now, WHO said on Monday it had temporarily suspended clinical trials of hydroxychloroquine as potential treatment for COVID-19, which was carried out across the globe as a precautionary measure. WHO's reaction was due to a research paper published in peer-reviewed medical journal, which indicated those taking the drug face a higher risk of heart problems and death as compared to those who did not. Now, in other news, Putrajaya will deport all undocumented migrants who test negative for COVID-19. The decision by the National Security Council comes amid a spike in the number of infections reported from immigration detention centers. More than 100 new cases of the deadly virus were detected on Monday at Immigration Depot following the authorities' controversial decision to round up those without valid documents. Senior Minister for Security, Ismail Yaacob, said all undocumented migrants at the KLIA, Bukit Jalil, and Samani Immigration Depot would be screened for COVID-19. Speaking at his daily briefing yesterday, he said the Foreign Ministry had been asked to discuss the deportation of those who test negative with its counterparts and the embassies of the relevant countries. Ismail also said the Human Resources Ministry is expected to announce new policies of minimum standards for workers' quarters today. This will include the number of workers and floor size for each unit. He also said those fighting for the rights of illegal workers need to understand that they had entered the country illegally and it is wrong for them to remain illegally. Back to you, Alma.
All right, thank you very much, Ruby. So the findings of did you say that the Health Ministry said, according to the WHO, after 2 weeks, they are allowed to be discharged from hospital after a 14-day quarantine, even though they test positive.
Yes, that's right. Because according to them, WHO said after 14 days, the infectivity is almost zero. So they can just go out and mingle with others. Alma?
Very much, Ruby, and we look forward to hearing more news from EBC Kuala Lumpur. Ruby, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, reporting here from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. This is Ruby Tinawin. We live in interesting times.
All right, ASEAN in Focus. We'll be right back.
Iba't iba man ang pinanggalingan, iisa lang ang pinangahawakan. Ang pangarap na makilala sa kanilang larangan. Mas titindi pa ang performances ng ating mga TNG aspirants dito lang sa pinakabago at pinakamalaking talent competition ng Philippine Television. Ito ang...
Tagisan ng Galing is presented by SMC Infrastructure, building a better world. Sandig sugar-free white coffee, puno ng white coffee taste without the sugar, kaya lower calories. Try mo na Sandig sugar-free white coffee. Sarap ng white coffee, now sugar-free. Vet-approved Nutrichops, the only premium dog food with active boost for optimum energy and prebiotics that help strengthen immunity. Just like Catherine Bernardo, gawing listo ganado ang fur babies niyo. Listo ganado sa Nutrichops. Magnolia Chicken Templados, delicious, ready to cook and freshly marinated daily. Pure Foods Luncheon Meat, pure sarap for every family. Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef, ang cheesy ng corned beef mo. Walang duda, kids can tell na #1 ang Pure Food Standard Juicy. Ang tender, ang juicy, ang sarap. Co-presented by Cooper, expert in air conditioning and electromechanical. also engaged in structural, electrical, fire protection, plumbing, and sanitary services. Cooper, your ultimate MEPS and air conditioning solutions. Unlad Incorporated International, fight against global poverty. New San Jose Builders Incorporated. Canrib Corporation, your ventilation and air conditioning specialist. Vita Herbs Philippines Green Coffee. Masarap, mabango, at healthy pa. Puerto Rico Resort and Convention Center, Cabiao, Nueva Ecija. I love Puerto Rico. Participation with Rain or Shine Elastomeric Waterproofing Paint. Colorful protection for your home. Matimco. Matimco is wood. Wood is Matimco. Our Square Variables Incorporated, your trusted UPS supplier and UPS maintenance provider in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. CompuZell Computer Services, ID card and lanyard manufacturer. Saisho International Trading Corporation, DN Steel, IMAC UPB Roof Corporation.
Hey, Gretchen Ho here, and I'm a white coffee lover. Creamy kasi, and very yummy. Pero mas masarap kung hindi nakaka-guilty. Check my new discovery, San-Made Sugar-Free White Coffee. Puno ng white coffee taste without the sugar, kaya lower calories. Try mo na! San-Made Sugar-Free White Coffee. Sarap ng white coffee, now sugar-free.
Skyway Stages 1 and 2, the elevated toll road system project, run from a section of the South Luzon Expressway from Alabang to Magallanes, Makati. The Skyway Stage 3 is an elevated expressway connecting the South Luzon Expressway through the existing Skyway Stages 1 and 2 to the North Luzon Expressway via Balintawak. Skyway Stage 4 is an 80-kilometer mixed elevated and at-grade toll road that will connect the existing Skyway system starting from the FTI section all the way to Bulacan.
Listo at ganado ang baby ko sa vet-approved Nutri-Chunks with active boost and prebiotics na pampalisto. Made with real meat with essential nutrients to help them grow healthy and happy. Listo, ganado sa Nutri-Chunks.
Ikaw lang ang star ng buhay ko. Para sa akin, perfect ka. Ibang klase ang sarap ng corned beef mo. Ang cheesy ng corned beef mo. Pag Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef, sarap ng corned beef, inangat pa ng real cheese cubes. Kaya perfect ang sarap. Star Chunky Cheese Corned Beef.
The Cambodian government introduced new round of measures to help businesses affected by the pandemic. What are these measures? Again, let's try and get Crystal Ann Ballesteros live from Cambodia. Hello, Crystal.
Hi, Alma. Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, I can. I'm very happy to see you. Thank you.
According to Khmer Times, the Cambodian government yesterday introduced a fourth round of measures to help the private sector business activities declare further financing to rehabilitate and push the growth of the economy after the COVID-19 crisis ends. The government's round 4 measures will help the private sector, employee and workers who are currently severely affected by the outbreak of COVID-19. The government said the new measures are aimed at relieving the burden and improving the living standards of people with social assistance. They take into account the crisis could end and economic activities will return to normal in the near future. The measures will also focus on helping businesses to recover and contribute in boosting the economy. The so-called Round 4 measures will cover many sectors, including aviation, manufacturing, the garment industry, banking and finance, agriculture, medical work, among others. As part of the help, the Ministry of Economy and Finance, in collaboration with the National Bank of Cambodia, will seek the possibility to reduce and adjust terms and conditions to increase cash flow in the banking sector. The announcement says for banking and finances to get new sources of finance from inside or outside the country, the government will drop the withholding tax on borrowed money to only 5% for the year 2020 and 10% in 2021. For existing loans from inside and outside the country, the withholding taxes for banking and finances will adjust to 10% in 2020 and will return to the normal percent, which is 14% by 2021, to align with the law and regulations. Sukbon, LOLC Cambodia Chief Executive Officer, welcomed the government's move and thanked the government for its efforts to help the private sector. He also added that although it is not matched, it will help them. However, although the government announced this measure, they have to wait for an announcement from the Taxation Department on the implementation and its condition. The government also announced that it will expand the scope of financing and adjust the terms of credit of the government's $50 million special fund through the Agriculture Rural Development, or ARDB. The ARDB will reduce the interest rate from 6% to 5% for working capital and 6.5% to 5.5% for investment capital, as well as the increase of payment period for up to 7 years. Alma?
Right. Thank you very much, Crystal Ann, for your reports and your updates from Cambodia. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.
Likewise, Alma. Cambodia. I am Crystal Ann Ballesteros, and we live in interesting times.
And Thailand's state of emergency laws have been extended for another month. That is until the end of June, despite the kingdom reporting relatively low virus toll now. Joining us live from Bangkok is Faye Barte. Hello, Faye.
Good afternoon, Alma, and good afternoon to all the viewers.
Good afternoon, Faye. What are your updates from Bangkok? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you also. The updates from Thailand. The cabinet has approved the Center for COVID-19 Situation Administration, or the CCSA, proposal to extend the emergency decree for the benefit of the health security of the nation until the end of June. So that would be from June 1 up to June 30, 2020. The need for extension is to ensure the unified and speedy operations of all agencies concerned in the collective fight against the virus. The cabinet, Alma, was told that it is still necessary to extend the emergency decree, and it would help in the management of containing the spread of the coronavirus disease 2019. Alma.
All right. Thank you very much. Faye, so with that extension, how is the population reacting to this?
Alma, according to the Bangkok Post, so this report is from Bangkok Post, and according to the spokesman of Pheu Thai, Pheu Thai is the largest opposition party here in Thailand, Alma. Pheu Thai said it could, the latest extension is a consolidation of power and a necessary use of power. The opposition also, Alma, argues less strict legislation can manage the outbreak. It has also raised the prospect of asking a court about the lawfulness of bills earmarking of 1.9 trillion baht in stimulus to fight a recession. And also Pheu Thai group or party said it could ask the Constitutional Court to assess the validity of stimulus legislation if a debate in Parliament from Wednesday fails to bring clarity. And however, Alma, the Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has already did something about this for the business or the SMEs. And for this, Alma, Prime Minister has had some meeting with the business person here in Thailand, and he said that everything went smoothly, and they advised the Prime Minister to do some necessary measures for the business persons here, so everybody could have the business back to business again, so the people can have their business and can get the income back again. Another update that I can share, Alma, is because after the relaxation of strict measures here, in cooperation with the Ministry of Public Health, Thai Chana has introduced, and it is an online platform. Thai Chana is a Thai word. Alma means Thai victory. This online platform is used to track and assess helpful information for the public in order to reduce the risk of COVID-19. Because here, shopping malls are already open, supermarkets, restaurants are already open. However, they are following some strict measures like social distancing, washing of hands. And if you go in, you're going to do the scanning of QR code for you to check in. And if you want to go out, you need to check out also. And that platform or the online platform is what we call Thai Chana. Alma.
All right. Thank you very much for your updates, Faye. And keep the updates coming in Thailand. Thank you so much for your time. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much, Alma. This is Faye Barte reporting live from Bangkok, Thailand Bureau, and we live in interesting times.
To Vietnam now, 80 countries will be given e-visas starting July 1. That and more. Joining us live from Hanoi is Ralph Wandolph Empire. Hello, Ralph.
Hi there, Alma. Good afternoon. How
Good
are you today?
afternoon. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm all right. Thank you for asking, too. For my headline today, Vietnam grants e-visa to the citizens of 80 countries from July 1. Vietnam's Prime Minister Nguyen Xuan Phuc has just signed the 79/NQ-CP resolution on the list of 80 countries, which their citizens are eligible for the electronic visa or e-visa, and the list of international border gates, which allow foreigners to enter and exit with e-visa. The resolution takes effect on July 1, 2020, as per the Vietnam's government portal. Vietnam's e-visa is one of several visa types offered by the Vietnam Immigration Department to foreigners entering the country. The e-visa is valid for 30 days and single entry only. The e-visa costs $25 for card payments, and it requires 3 full working days to process. So far, Alma, Vietnam Vietnam has suspended entry for all foreign nationals, and only Vietnamese nationals, foreigners on diplomatic or official business, and highly skilled workers are allowed to enter the country at this time. Anyone entering Vietnam must undergo medical checks and 14-day quarantine upon arrival. And for all foreigners who entered Vietnam after March 1 on visa exemptions, e-visas or tourism visas will be given automatic stay extensions at no charge until June 30, 2020. Definitely, this is a good news. And visitors who entered the country before March 1 may be considered for the extension, provided that they can show an official letter from their embassy or consulate stating that they were unable to leave the country due to the objective reasons. Foreigners who have undergone quarantine or treatment for COVID-19 in Vietnam are also eligible for the extension. They must bring their certification documents to show immigration officials when leaving Vietnam. Now, Alma, in other news, yesterday, a man was arrested on Long An province border with Cambodia with 3 guns and about 21 kilograms of drugs. His name is Tran Tuan Can, a 30-year-old man, was arrested in Long An's Can Tuong town, which borders Cambodia and is about 93 kilometers to the west of Ho Chi Minh City. He was caught while passing through a border gate. He was caught while passing through a border gate to enter Vietnam from Cambodia with a bag containing 20.8 kilograms of drugs, 2 K-59 pistols, a Zoraki pistol, a magazine, and 25 bullets. Can said he had bought the guns and drugs from an unidentified person in Cambodia and intended to sell them in Vietnam. Vietnam has some of the harshest punishments for drug trafficking, awarding death to those convicted of possessing or smuggling over 600 grams of heroin or more than 2.5 kilograms of methamphetamine, and to those producing or selling 100 grams of heroin or 300 grams of other illegal narcotics. Actually, Alma, on February 25, a 31-year-old Vietnamese woman was sentenced to death for trafficking nearly 8 kilograms of methamphetamine, Vietnam News Agency reported. And on May 2019, Vietnam has sentenced 10 people to death for smuggling meth, ketamine, and ecstasy across the country by train as the country deepens its crackdown on drugs. The gang shifted 300 kilograms or 660 pounds of drugs from northern Vietnam to the southern economic hub of Ho Chi Minh City between 2015 and 2016. And just a few more updates, Alma. As of May 27, Vietnam's Ministry of Health confirmed a total of 327 cases of COVID-19. However, 272 of the affected patients have recovered and been discharged from hospitals. The latest additional case was a Vietnamese national returning on a repatriation flight from Russia. Vietnam is planning a $679 million cut in corporate income tax for small and medium-sized businesses to combat COVID-19. And furthermore, more than 300 Vietnamese nationals repatriated from Europe and Africa arrived on May 23 and May 24 at Tan Son Nhat International Airport. I believe this is in Ho Chi Minh City. And around 1,000 skilled foreign specialists are expected to enter the country and be quarantined in early June before being deployed at oil and steel projects in Quang Ngai province. Vietnam has shipped up to 2 million hand sanitizers to the US, Europe, and Canada. Another shipment of 4 to 6 million sanitizers is scheduled for late May. And religious activities in Vietnam were allowed to resume from May 8, but with preventive measures for large gatherings. The government has allowed the resumption of all non-essential services except for clubs and karaoke parlors, but with preventive measures. Moreover, the Ministry of Transport on May 6 relaxed social distancing guidelines on planes, buses, taxis, and ships. And lastly, Alma, Vietnam's Drug Administration issued a decision to resume the export of 37 medicine products that were suspended since April 16 and reserved for domestic use during the pandemic. Back to you, Alma.
All right. Thank you very much, Ralph, for your updates. And keep safe, stay healthy. Thank you so much for your time.
Bringing you the latest updates here in Vietnam, this is Ralph Pai. We live in interesting times.
Though only providing limited services for now, the Philippine Consulate in Honolulu has led the way for that country's foreign service mission to resume some form of normalcy. Eagle News correspondent Georgie Carnate has more.
Good day to our friends and viewers of Eagle News. I thank you for having me on your program today.
Consul Grace Ann Bulos of the Philippine Consulate General in Honolulu describes to Eagle News the overall situation of Filipinos in Hawaii and American Samoa since the COVID-19 pandemic began in this part of the world. She also explained how she and her colleagues kept in touch with their fellow kababayans.
As you know, tourism is the main driver of Hawaii's economy. The state government's decision to close tourism, compounded with the stay-at-home or the work-from-home orders, has affected a lot of our people who are employed in the tourism industry, including those who work for hotels, tourism sites, restaurants, and retail businesses. We have seen a massive loss of jobs and in turn an increase in the need for human services. The Philippine Consulate General communicates regularly with its contacts in the Filipino community either through email or mobile phone. With today's advancements in information technology, communication has become very easy. Nowadays, there are so many platforms for communication, including social media and even meeting platforms. Information for our clients and the public is also regularly posted on the Philippine Consulate General website and our social media accounts.
Despite the challenges brought about by the pandemic, Consul Bulos shares her thoughts on how Filipinos learned and benefited from this ongoing crisis.
For every crisis, there are also opportunities. The pandemic has been a blessing in disguise. It has provided families the opportunity to spend more time with each other. We have also learned how to make the most use of technology to keep in touch and to forge connections. We have become resourceful and creative in doing with what we have. Some have even learned new skills. So these are just some of the things that are part of the new normal that we are now living in.
Since May 4th, the consulate has resumed operations, albeit on a limited scale, as Hawaii continues to lead the United States in flattening its curve of COVID-19 cases.
We're the first Philippine Foreign Service post in the United States to resume operations. And the reason we were able to open sooner than the others is because the COVID-19 cases in Hawaii are not that high. And this is thanks to the government action, the early government action taken to help stop the pandemic. There are a number of factors that we needed to consider in deciding to reopen. First, we need to adhere to the state directives to help stop the transmission of the coronavirus. Secondly, we are affected by things that happen on the ground in the Philippines. And thirdly, we need to protect our clients as well as our own personnel. So because of these things, we decided that our operating hours will be shortened. We're not fully operational at the moment. Our hours are only from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's the time that we're open to the public, and that's from Monday to Friday, except holidays.
Finally, Consul Bulos expressed some optimism and pride for the Filipino communities amidst the ongoing crisis.
Well, the pandemic is truly a challenge. Filipinos in Hawaii and American Samoa have remained resilient, and they have even found ways to volunteer and to help other people. The Bayanihan spirit is still very much alive.
In response to the economic hardships and unemployment faced by Filipinos, the consulate last week launched Trabaho HI, an online Facebook page which seeks to connect employers and Filipino Americans job seekers. Reporting from Honolulu, Hawaii, Joji Carnate, Eagle News. We live in interesting time.
Indonesia said it's deploying 340,000 troops to clamp down on rampant social distancing violations as coronavirus infections surge in the world's fourth most populous country. The military will be on the ground in 24 cities, including the capital Jakarta, to make sure people wear masks and stay apart as the government eyes a possible reopening of shuttered businesses. Indonesian President Joko Widodo said the measures would help protect people's health and the economy. President Joko Widodo inspected preparations for reopening the subway in Jakarta and a shopping mall in its satellite city of Bekasi. Shopping centers and other economic sectors were expected to be able to resume operations on June 4. Health experts have warned that reopening the economy prematurely could trigger a second wave of infections, and the government nevertheless has insisted the country must be ready to get back to normal by the end of July and amid growing economic pressures. And President Duterte might lift the deployment ban on healthcare workers who opt to work overseas once the coronavirus disease crisis ends in countries where they would go. That is according to Malacanang. On May 13, the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Infection or Emerging Infectious Diseases issued Resolution 36 or 36, which still prohibits medical professionals from leaving the country. Take a look.
Humupa na siguro yung banta ng COVID-19 sa mga lugar na nais nilang puntahan. Yung mga perfected contracts po, no, dapat napaalis, no? Ang sakop lang ng ban ay yung mga bagong mga kontrata na ipinasok matapos po mag-issue ng ban ang POEA. So siguraduhin niyo po na pasok kayo doon sa petsa kung saan nagkaroon ng ban. Dahil kung pasok naman kayo, dapat i-process sila at payagang umalis.
Cambodia's largest commercial bank listed on the country's stock market Monday, the first lender to trade on the fledgling exchange despite uncertainty caused by the coronavirus pandemic. Akleda Bank became the sixth firm to join the Cambodia Securities Exchange, which opened in 2011, joining a garment factory, 2 state-owned ports, and a special economic zone. Take a look.
សមិទ្ធផលថ្ងៃនេះនឹងក្លាយជាគំរូមួយសម្រាប់ជំរុញដល់គ្រឹះស្ថានធនាគារនិងហិរញ្ញវត្ថុផ្សេងទៀតដែលមានបំណងឬនៅមានភាពស្ទាក់ស្ទើរនៅឡើយក្នុងការប្រមូលទុនពីទីផ្សារមូលបត្រឲ្យកាន់តែមានភាពជឿជាក់ក្នុងការចាប់យកឱកាសពីកោទុនសម្រាប់ពង្រឹងនិងពង្រីកអាជីវកម្មរបស់ខ្លួន
អ្វីដែលយើងបើកទំព័រថ្មីនាថ្ងៃនេះហ្នឹងគឺឲ្យធនាគារអេស៊ីដានឹងអាចប្រើប្រាស់ប្រភពទុនវិនិយោគពីវិនិយោគិនសាធារណៈនៅក្នុងប្រជាណាចក្រកម្ពុជានេះក៏ដូចជាវិនិយោគិនទូទៅដែលចង់ធ្វើការវិនិយោគជាមួយធនាគារអេស៊ីដាគឺតាមផ្សារហ៊ុនរបស់កម្ពុជានេះឯងតាម CSX បាទរឿងនេះសំខាន់
But initial fanfare for the kingdom's trading future has dimmed with the country's lack of financial literacy and a dearth of eligible companies being major obstacles. ASEAN has been operating since 1993 and had assets of $6.1 billion at the end of 2019. Its market capitalization marked $1.75 billion, triple that of the 5 other listed companies on the CSX. Its chairman and managing director In Chani said about 2,500 public investors became its shareholders on Monday, opening a new chapter for Cambodia's financial sector. And he downplayed the risks of debuting on the CSX during the pandemic. In Chani said, quote, "We saw that our investors did not hesitate because of the trust in Cambodia, in ASEAN Bank, and in relevant authorities." He said if we were concerned, we would not have listed today. Trading started at 16,200 riel, or $3.93 per share, and closed at 16,500 riel. Cambodia has so far reported 124 cases of the coronavirus, though there are concerns that not enough tests and contact tracing is being done within the kingdom. Economic growth is expected to slow to about 2.3%, according to the Asian Development Bank, after almost a decade of 7% expansion. And are you looking for a new hobby or skill while still in quarantine? Here's a suggestion for you to challenge your sense of creativity and practicality. Arranging flowers, courtesy of our EBC Hawaii Bureau. Take a look.
You can see we have a whole bunch of flowers here and different vessels or containers or jars and different materials. But basically, we're going to use our main material here are the clear tape and then the floral tape. These are the bigger version, and of course your scissors for your snips. And as you can see, we have this chicken wire. This chicken wire, we can use this as one of our installation for our flower arrangement. Instead of the floral foam, we can use chicken wire instead. This chicken wire is from our yard, so if you have any leftovers that you can use it, utilize it instead of buying a floral foam. It just form a ball shaped. It was like this originally, and then depending on the size of your vessel, just like this, I have this container. If I decide to use this, I just have to form a ball and then put it inside, squeeze it inside, and there you go, voila! You can just stick your flowers, whatever arrangement it is. We have these containers. As you can see, these containers are my pasta containers, and you can make it as a flower vase. I have here a different sample of a flower vase. But before we're gonna do all this, the best way to preserve a flower is to have a copper or a penny inside. The penny will penetrate the iron acidity of that coin to the flower, and it goes to the water and it absorbs to the flower. As you can see, the flower, I cut it diagonally. When you cut the flowers, it has to be 45 degrees diagonally. Why? Because all the more it will absorb more water compared when it's flat cut, and it will hydrate the flower. So this is our pasta containers. As you can see, these are my dessert bowl. Just like normally we use this for ice cream or souffle, different kind of dessert. But you can utilize this when we want to replant our air plant. Put a little bit of rocks or moss underneath, and then put your air plant or succulents and pour or cover it with seashells if you have seashells available. But if you don't have, you can utilize whatever, like the moss, wet moss on it. And that's it. You can put it as your centerpiece in your desk at office, at work, or centerpiece in your coffee table. Is, as you can see, lemons here. I have the lemon fruit. These are real lemon. What is this for? This is, we can use it as a decoration. I cut slices of lemons inside. I put it inside, and later on I put water, and then I'll put my flower arrangement. This pail is really a small mouthpiece pail, specifically for flower arrangement, with those small mouth or small opening bases. Now I'm putting water inside the container. This is the trick on this. It's kind of exciting because how does the slices of lemon holds? The trick over here is I double the base, as you can see. So now I pre-cut these moms flowers, and then we'll just put it on the base, and this is a beautiful centerpiece. So if you have any leftovers of your lemons, you can utilize it as your centerpiece for your vases. Now.
All right, thank you for joining us here in ASEAN in Focus. I'm Alma Angeles. Stay updated about the ASEAN region. We live in interesting times.
This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.